I didn't find out because he told me. I found out because I washed the sheets. It was a Wednesday just like any other. I came home early from work, ready to wind down with a glass of wine and a trashy Netflix show. But something felt off. Our bedroom smelled different, not like us, not like home. I tried to brush it off until I picked up the corner of the bedsheet and found an unfamiliar gold earring tangled near the pillows. Panic. Confusion. Denial. I texted him. "Whose is this?" He didn't respond for 2 hours. When he did, it was just, "We need to talk." When he finally came home, he didn't even try to deny it. "It was a mistake," he said. "It meant nothing." But it happened in our bed. Where we made love, whispered dreams, argued about laundry. He brought her into our sacred space. He swore it was just once. That it happened after a fight we had weeks ago. That he was drunk. Lonely. That it meant nothing. But I couldn't stop wondering if it meant nothing. Why did it happen there? The worst part? I still loved him. I hated myself for it. We had 3 years of memories. Inside jokes. Trips. Sunday mornings in bed with pancakes and bad coffee. How do you erase all that because of one night? Or was it just one night? I started questioning everything. Did she wear my robe? Did he light our candle? Did they laugh about me? He cried. He begged. He said he'd do anything. Therapy. Counseling. Change his number. Quit drinking. Part of me wanted to give him the chance. Part of me wanted to burn the whole apartment down. We went to one therapy session. He said he felt emotionally disconnected. That I had grown distant. That he didn't know how to reach me anymore. I wanted to scream. I had been stressed with work, helping my sister through a divorce, keeping us afloat. He never told me he felt alone. Instead, he filled that silence with someone else. I'm not proud to say this, but I stayed for a while. I needed to know if love could survive betrayal. If I could ever look at him the same way again. I tried. I really did. But one night, as we lay in bed, he reached for me, and I flinched. That's when I knew. It wasn't just the act of cheating. It was the space he invaded. The part of me he shattered without even realizing. When I packed my bags and walked out of that apartment, I told myself I was done with him, with the pain, with the ghosts lingering in the sheets. I thought leaving would mean healing. I thought the hard part was over. But the hard part came in waves. The first night alone in my new place, I cried myself to sleep. Not because I missed him, exactly, but because of the emptiness. The silence that used to feel comforting now felt deafening. No sound of keys jingling at the door. No familiar weight beside me in bed. Just quiet and my thoughts. I kept reaching for my phone out of habit, wanting to text him random things, a funny meme, something our dog did. He got custody of our rescue, which felt like its own kind of heartbreak, but I stopped myself every time. I had to. Still, grief comes dressed as love sometimes. I'd catch myself scrolling through old photos, our trip to Santorini, his hand in mine at the farmer's market, selfies in bed with messy hair and sleepy eyes. How do you mourn someone who is still alive? A month in, he texted me. Just 5 words. I still think about us. I stared at the message for an hour. I wanted to reply. I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to ask him if he ever thought about her the way he thought about me. But I didn't answer. Because even if he was thinking about us, he destroyed what us used to mean. I started going to therapy on my own. That's when the real work began, not just unpacking what he did, but what I had allowed. How I had kept quiet about my own unhappiness. How I had ignored red flags for the sake of peace. How I had measured my worth in his validation. Turns out, heartbreak isn't just about someone leaving. It's about finally confronting the parts of yourself you've been hiding, even from you. About 2 months after I left, I ran into him. Grocery store. Of all places. He looked tired. Thinner. He smiled like he didn't know if he was allowed to. I nodded, said hey, and kept walking. My hands were shaking when I reached the frozen aisle. I hated that he could still do that to me, make my body betray my progress. But here's the thing. I didn't cry afterward. I didn't replay every second. I didn't wish for a redo. I just kept shopping. That was the moment I realized I was healing. Not healed healing. I still have days where the memory hits like a sucker punch. I'll hear a song, or smell his cologne on a stranger, or watch a movie we used to love. And for a second, I'm back there. But now, I remind myself, I'm no longer the woman who let someone disrespect her and called it love. I don't know if he ever truly felt remorse, or if he just missed the version of me who forgave too easily. But I'm not her anymore. And maybe the most honest thing I can say is this. He said it was a mistake, but it happened in our bed. And I don't sleep in that kind of love anymore.